Hey folks, Dave Parrish at Knack Builders. Um, Today, in terms of my video on Knack functionality, I am going to show you how to run a task on the last day of the month. Sounds like it might be pretty straightforward, but actually it's easy to run it monthly on the first day or on the 15th or any day before the last day of the month because that date or day changes 28, 30, 31, and the settings for Knack doesn't allow for that. I'm going to show you a little sequence you can do to make that happen, and I'll be right back. Thank you. Okay, here I go on the topic of running a task on the last day of the month. Let me talk a little bit about my use case. I have an app that this is actually an auditing app that looks at uh, home health care visits, and they work for companies that provide that service, and these companies have what those people do audited. I mean, a certain percent are checked out, and see how they did. But regarding, there's these folks called coders that are the ones doing the audit, and we want to measure certain things, how many they do a month, this, there's several values we want. Um, and I want to keep a log of those. I want to grab the value at the end of the month of these various measurements, grab it, shove it in another related table that gives me an ongoing log. In February, there were all these values. In March, there are all these values. So we keep a long history, and then we can do a lot of analyzing that data. Now, when you run a task, let me just call up one. I can set up monthly, and I can tell it what day to do it on, or I can run it daily, weekly, or whatever. But there isn't another button here that says, okay, monthly on the last day of the month. So if I set this for the 31st, it's going to miss months. If I set it for let's say the 28th, it's going to grab the value on 28th, and some months have longer, so it's not going to be the accurate value. Here's how I did this. And first of all, let me get out of this. This will be pretty short. I want to thank Bill Early at Knack Support. I asked him how you do that, and he said, hey, here's a way to do it. And it's pretty simple, and it's you'll find uses for it. Here's what we're going to do. And by the way, I'll put this document in the description below, a link to it, so you can read through it. But I'm going to give you a quick overview of what he does. First of all, you put a field in here that grabs the current date. I'll show you how to do that. Then you put another equation field, and you use an operator that says, hey, get the last date of the current date, which will always be that month, the month you're looking at. Then you set a conditional rule that looks at these two. Actually, it's specifically looking at the last day of the month. And is this date the last day of the month? And if this date is the last day of the month, you run a task, or you have a task that's yes or no that says yes, run the task, and on all other dates, it won't run the task because it is not the last day of the month. So let me show you how I did that. I'll just call up one of these. This is looking for a specific item that I'm going to grab and put in there, but here's the action. Insert a connected record to, this is a log of what we're grabbing, the monthly log. This happens to be who we're grabbing it for. Run task, yes, and then it goes and grabs these various values. Let me go down into the records. Here's the end of, here's how I did it. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. Here's my little notation that these are what those fields are. Current date, easy enough. You know, you set an equation field, the current date, it's a date, I'm measuring days, it is a date, the result, and all you do is put in current time, and it goes grabs it. It will, by the way, all these, I think they're called operators, current, and there it is. So that allows this system to look at this record and say, or all the records in this object, what is the current date, and the current date will always be the existing month you're in. Then you do another one, last day of current month. And this is another nice operator. You have several. You can get day of week, all kinds of stuff. But this one, get, I'm going to just do it, get date, last day of month. Gets the last day of the month for a given date. So we're going to put in, I don't want to screw around with that one, but get the last date of the month, or day of the month, in terms of a date, for the current date, which is the current month. So this will know if it's 28, 29, 30, 31. Again, it results in this. So then we set a conditional rule that says run task. This is just a yes, no. And our conditions are, if the last date of the current, or the last day of the current month is today, set the value as yes. And then these will just be the opposite. If it's before today, set to no. And if it's after today, set to no. Pretty simple logic. And this is the stuff you're going to run your task on. So let's call up one of these tasks. This is what I showed earlier. So run task is yes. So that's just saying, is today the last day of the month? If it's yes, then we're going to go grab these values, and they'll be shoved into the other history log we have. And note, you're going to want to run this daily. It's not a monthly thing. You run it whenever you want. So every day it will look and say, is today the last day of the month? If it is, that will turn to yes. And in terms of that one field, and then this will know to run it. It is that simple, and this can be useful. That's all I have for today. If you like this, leave a comment, press the subscribe button, and I will talk to you folks soon. Thank you.